Welcome to another Cardano update. So today I want to start on the weekly chart, and I pretty much want to compare the move that happened right here in the previous cycle to the move that's happening right now again, because I still believe they are quite similar, and even the RSI is looking quite similar as well, and let me explain why. So if you check out the previous cycle right here, as you can see, after getting this bear market low, if we ignore what happened right here in the pandemic, this would have been the bear market low. And as you can see, when we hit that bear market low, we were below the yellow line on the RSI. Then we actually tested it. As you can see right here, we got rejected, we tested it again, we got rejected again, and then when we tested it for the third time, that's when the RSI went above the yellow line, and then we had this huge bounce from 2 cents to about 10 cents, well, 11 cents. And if you check out what happened in this cycle, we pretty much got the exact same thing. So we hit the bear market low here, we tested the yellow line right here after hitting the bear market low, then we got rejected, we tested it again, we got rejected, and then the third time, when we tested it for the third time, that's when the price pretty much exploded to the upside and we had this huge pump. So it's the exact same thing as in the previous cycle, but let's continue. After the price topped and the first wave moved to the upside, also before I continue with that, the first wave move to the upside right here went up in 5 waves. Just like the move that we are getting right now. And is it a coincidence that both of these moves went up in 5 waves and then went into an ABC structure in the second wave move down? I don't know, we'll have to see what happens. But right now, I mean, they're looking very similar to each other. Now let's continue with the RSI. As you can see right here, when we topped in the first wave move, we formed a kind of a U structure on the price chart and on the RSI as well. And what did we do in this cycle? The exact same thing. As you can see, we have a U structure on the price chart and a U structure on the RSI. And after we got that U structure in this cycle, just like in the previous cycle, the RSI went below the yellow line just like it did over here. And guess what? When we went below the yellow line right here, we never actually tested it. And we actually stayed below it for about 2.5 months. And then we continued going up, and then we got rejected. And what did we do in this cycle? We stayed below it for like 2.5 months, just like we did over here. And now we are trying to test it just like we did over here. And how many times did we test it in the previous cycle? Well, 1, 2, and then the third time was successful, and then we finally managed to get above the bull market support band. And right now we have only tested it 2 times. So maybe we'll go down right now, then we'll go sideways for the entire month of September, and honestly that would make sense considering Bitcoin dominance will most likely top in September or October, and then we get the third wave move up. And honestly that would make perfect sense because we are pretty much copying this structure. Now of course, here, when we were trying to go up in a third wave move to the upside, we were not able to go in a third wave move because of the pandemic. But right now we do not have a pandemic, well, not yet. So maybe we'll just continue going up, and maybe the price chart will look something like this over here after we get rejected by the yellow line on the RSI again and after we test it again. And if we do not manage to get above the yellow line when we test it again, then I don't think we'll copy what happened over here. But right now, I mean, the price chart is looking the exact same as this right here. Now let's also look at the bull market support band. As you can see here, when it was pretty much confirmed that the first wave right here was actually in, we got a cross on the bull market support band, and the red line went above the green line, and it pretty much stayed above it for a long time until this cross right here. And then after this cross right here, the green line went above the red line, but the price still put in lower lows before actually doing something a few weeks later. And if we check out where we're at right now in this cycle, here after topping in the first wave move to the upside, we had a cross. The red line went above the green line, and the price has been going down ever since. And now we had this cross that happened in the previous cycle as well, over here. So are we going to repeat this right here? Are we just going to continue going down for a few more weeks and then we will go in the third wave move? I mean, that to me sounds possible because, you know, the structure, like I said 5 times already in this video, it's the exact same. Also, speaking of the first wave move to the upside, when we first got to this first wave move to the upside right here, we were not even close to getting to the 0.236 extension that I have on the chart. But in this cycle, we were very close to touching it. And maybe we don't want to count this as the first wave move. Maybe we want to count this as the first wave move. Even then, this did not even get close to the 0.236 extension. So is this cycle a bit more bullish than what happened over here? I don't know. That would be speculation, of course. We'll have to see what happens with the third wave. But if that's the case, then the top of this cycle should get to at least the 2.618 extension right here, if we want to do better than what we did in the previous cycle. And also, do not forget, in the previous cycle we had a pandemic, which pretty much invalidated the 1-2 setup that we started right here. So would Cardano have gone higher? I don't know, but that's also something you need to keep in mind. Maybe it is possible that it would have gone higher. Now let's check out the Bitcoin dominance chart. I still don't believe it has topped, and I still think Bitcoin will continue going sideways for another month or so. Now what do I mean by sideways? Well, obviously it could go down like 10% in September, because that's what usually happens in September. And if you go on the 1 hour chart, for example, let's say it goes down 10% from where it's at right now. 10%, that would put us at about 53k. So even though it's like 10%, it's still a lot. I mean, going down to like 53k would almost put in another lower low in the fourth wave right here. And if we do go down to that level, I think it's possible that we go down a bit more, maybe like 18%, to break below this low right here, and then we bounce. Because, you know, the pump that we got right here is not really enough to confirm that the low is in right here. I mean, we did not even manage to get to my third wave target right here. Maybe we'll get there, but I mean, it does not look like we will. So, you know, something to keep in mind. And like I said, September is always a bad month for Bitcoin. So if we do go down like 17 to 18%, and if we test the 48k level, then, you know, I mean, that's when altcoins will most likely bleed against Bitcoin, and that's when Bitcoin dominance will finally have the chance to actually top. And I believe it will top at maybe 60.3%. I don't think it's going to go higher than that, but if it is possible, maybe we'll go to like 62%. And also, we do not have to go to 60%. Maybe we'll top at 59.8%. Maybe we'll top at 59.6%. I don't know. Nobody knows that, you know? I mean, last cycle, for example, we did not get to the 0.618 level, but we were very close to getting there. So, you know, we were like 2% away. So who's to say that we have not topped already, you know? Maybe we'll top at 58%. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But after we top, then I'm expecting an altcoin season to happen, and I'm expecting it to happen by the end of the year. If it does not happen by the end of the year, then I don't think we'll get a real altcoin season in this cycle, because, you know, we don't have that much time left. But I do believe Bitcoin will go to new all-time highs very, very soon, and I believe it will touch the 100k level by the end of the year. So, you know, like I said many times in my previous videos, I believe the Bitcoin cycle will end in October of 2025. So we still have like a year left, even more than that actually. So, you know, and also why am I saying that? Well, from the 2013 bull market high to the 2017 bull market high, it took about 1,400 days. From the 2017 high to the 2021 high, it took 1,400 days. So, you know, if we go 1,400 days into the future from the 2021 high, that puts us in October of 2025. So, you know, keep that in mind as well. I know this is not a Bitcoin video, but Bitcoin is very important right now, because in order for the altcoins to go up, Bitcoin needs to go up as well. So if Bitcoin goes sideways, that's when Bitcoin dominance usually goes up, you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Many thanks to the people that subscribe to our Patreon. If you have not subscribed yet, maybe consider checking it out. We give you access to all of these charts. And by the way, that's not only for Patreons, it's also for YouTube members. So, you know, if you're interested, check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.